Hi guys, John from LookSmart Home Inspections right here in New Jersey, and this is going to be video number 2 about our definitive guide to New Jersey home inspections. I'm putting this video sort of series together just to put in one place some important information about New Jersey home inspections, New Jersey home inspectors, and also to help you guys if you're thinking about purchasing a home. Maybe you'll find some of this information useful. So let's jump right in. This is video guide number 2. So should you guys attend your home inspection? And the definitive answer to that question is yes. Absolutely attend your home inspection. And this is super important. And I know that sometimes things get in the way, like family obligations, work obligations, child care, things like that. But if you can, you definitely should attend the home inspection, because being there on site is so much different than just reading about the deficiencies that are found in a home in the home inspection report. So being there allows you to actually see and watch the home inspector in action and have the home inspector talk to you about the deficiencies that they're finding in the home. And also being there on site allows you to ask questions of the home inspector and clears things up, and it gives you another idea of clarity about the problems that you find in the home. And it gives you a sense of priority about the problems that are found in the home, rather just reading about those problems in the home inspection report. Now, the home inspection report is going to be great. It's going to be detailed. It's going to have a lot of photos, but nothing really takes the place of actually being on site and being able to ask that home inspector questions and get involved in the home inspection process yourself. Now, it's certainly easier for us home inspectors if you're not there, right? We can do the home inspection ourselves and just go through the house top to bottom without having you there on site asking us questions or being involved in the process. But that is not what we want to do. We really want you guys involved. Good home inspectors are going to welcome you on site. Beware of home inspectors who say, arrive half an hour before I'm done and we'll go through, just the highlights. Why do that? Why not hire a home inspector who welcomes you into the process and you're able to ask questions, certainly along the way? And if a home inspector tells you, no, I don't need you there, just read the home inspection report, that should put up 10 red flags, right? We don't want this. You're spending a fortune on a home. You want to be involved in the process. You want to see what the home inspector is doing and have the ability to ask questions during the home inspection. So absolutely attend your home inspection. It's really important. So let's take a minute to just talk about what makes for a good home inspection report. And I think I covered this in other videos, but it's important to kind of bring this to light again. What is a good home inspection report? Well, firstly, a good home inspection report is fully narrative, very detailed, comprehensive, and loaded with pictures, right? A home inspection report without photos is basically useless. This isn't 30 years ago where we don't put photos in a home inspection report. A good home inspection report is going to have a ton of pictures, maybe 100 or plus pictures of the deficiencies that we find in the home. And seeing a picture and having a thorough description of the deficiency next to that picture, it certainly helps you as a client understand the deficiency that's in the home. So you're there with the home inspector, you have a comprehensive home inspection report loaded with pictures and a full narrative description of the problem. So you can really easily digest that problem that they found in the report or in the home, and then you can go ahead and maybe ask for correction for the seller or maybe a credit back, okay? So a good home inspection report is going to be completely narrative, loaded with pictures, and it's going to be lengthy, right? A good home inspection report, if a home inspector takes their time, it's going to be like 180, 100 pages long. And you say, well, why does it have to be that long? Because there are so many things to cover in the average size house. I mean, you don't want a 10-page home inspection report, right? You're not paying good money for that. You really want a comprehensive, detailed report. 80 pages, 90 pages, 100 reports, multiple photos on each page depicting the problem, so it's easy for you to determine the big issues in the report. And going back to the big issues, let's have a summary page on the report. A lot of controversy, but I like summaries. Why not have a summary on the report? So hire a home inspector who's going to do a good summary, because it tells you the highlights. It's the home inspector's sort of, it's the highlight list of what was found during the home inspection. Of course, the summary is not going to have every single issue on it, but at least it's a starting point for you to understand and sort of, to be able to cull out the big problems that are, found in, during the home inspection. And a home inspection report should be delivered on a timely basis. I mean, you don't want to be waiting 3 or 4 days to get the home inspection report back, right? In New Jersey, you're under an inspection contingency period, and usually that period is 10 days. Sometimes it's 14 days, sometimes it's shorter. So you can't be waiting for a home inspection report to be delivered to you. Hire a home inspector who's going to deliver that report within 24 hours. So then you have time to be making good decisions about the home that you're thinking about buying. The home inspection report should also be tailored to the house that you're buying. It shouldn't have sort of this vague and murky language that, that can really be dealing with any house on the block, right? You want a home inspector who's actually going to take the time to write a detailed report for that subject property, and not just go to his computer software and use the canned language in that software, because that's not going to be detailed enough to you sort of describe the problems that they find in the subject home. So you want a home inspector who's going to do a detailed report tailored to that house, and not just use the canned language from the home inspection software. That's not any good. So home inspection reports are crucial. They're the product of the home inspection. So make sure you determine what home inspector is going to provide you the most detailed, comprehensive report. And these reports take a lot of time. They take 3 or 4 hours to write. It shouldn't take 20 minutes to do a home inspection report, right? It should take a long time, because the home inspector is going to put a lot of pride, a lot of effort, a lot of concern in delivering a really good product for you, the buyer. So make sure you consider the report itself as a means to sort of figure out who to hire for a home inspector. There's tons of home inspectors out there. A lot of them do good reports. Many of them don't do good reports. So find the ones that really take their time and create an excellent report in a timely manner. I want to talk one more thing about home inspection reports. And when you're hiring and interviewing home inspectors, you should ask them to produce and to send you 2 or 3 sample home inspection reports, so you get an idea of exactly what a home inspection report is going to look like. Because if you know what a home inspection report looks like, you're familiar with its contents, how it's laid out, it has a summary page, you can then use that to sort of kind of cull out the other home inspectors that you're thinking about interviewing. I mean, some home inspectors are going to have good reports. Some home inspectors are going to have, well, we'll be politically correct, not so good reports. So you can remove the ones with the not so good reporting and just kind of filter out those guys, and maybe focus your hiring to the home inspectors with the good, detailed, comprehensive reports that are loaded with pictures. So when you're interviewing home inspectors, it's not just enough to ask the questions. What you do want to do is make sure that you view a few sample reports so you can get an idea of what that finished product looks like. So that's crucially important. Don't forget to do that when you're interviewing your home inspectors. So do insurance companies have considerations when they underwrite homeowners insurance? And the answer is absolutely they do, especially for roofing and safety hazards. So if you're purchasing a home with a super old roof and that roof is got some problems, and the home inspector indicates that the roof is older and needs sort of near-term repair or replacement, you may have trouble getting homeowners insurance. They may underwrite the policy for you, but then when they send their inspector out to look at the housing and look at the roof, they may tell you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, you have 90 days, 60 days even, to put a new roof on the property. So what I want you guys to be aware of, even if you accept a home with an older roof, or no handrails on the front steps, or a damaged deck rail, or other safety or liability concerns, just because you accept that doesn't mean that your homeowner's insurance company is going to be okay with that and say, hey, no problem, you're insured. Because what I've experienced and what I tell my clients is, you better find out if the insurance company is going to have any problems with what we find during this home inspection, so you're not surprised later. So good rule of thumb, just because you're okay with these issues in the house, and doesn't mean that the homeowner's insurance company is going to be. So make sure you do your due diligence in finding out what the homeowner's insurance company is going to have a problem with, especially when it comes to old roofing, lack of handrails, broken steps, issues with decks, or even outbuildings. I've found even outbuildings such as old barns or sheds or garages will inhibit you from obtaining homeowners insurance if those buildings are in poor condition. So if you say to yourself, oh, I'm okay with this old barn that's all racked and falling over, that's great, you're okay with it, but your insurance company thinks and understands that thing as a hazard and is going to tell you to knock it down, replace it, or won't give you insurance coverage. So make sure you understand what your insurance company requirements are before you close, so you don't have any expensive surprises with them. I covered this question also. How long should a home inspection take? And I think it's worth going back to this. A home inspection should take 3 or 4 hours, right? Anything less than that, the home inspector is probably cutting some corners and moving too quickly through the house and maybe not paying attention to you, the client, or answering all of your questions. So I can only speak for myself. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour just to do the outside, another 45 minutes, an hour to do the basement, and then we go room to room on up to the attic space, all dealing with the systems in the home, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, structure, all the issues in the house. We do a full assessment of the kitchen, the bathrooms, and each and every room in the home, and then we go up and do a full assessment of the attic. So even on a standard house, it's going to take 3 or 4 hours. Anything less than that, I wonder what, if things are being missed. You want a home inspector who's not rushing, right? You're paying good money. You're paying a lot of money for the house. Why hire somebody who's going to be done in 90 minutes to 2 hours? Why not hire somebody who really takes the pride in doing the job correctly and takes their time? So 3 or 4 hour home inspection is sort of where the sweet spot is for the average size home. Smaller houses, condos, townhouses, sure, that might be a little bit less, but not too much less. That'll be a little bit less. And larger homes, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 or plus square feet, obviously can take longer than 3 or 4 hours because there's just more ground to cover inside the home. So a good home inspector, average home inspection time should be 3 or 4 hours. If you're talking to home inspectors on the phone and they tell you we're going to be in and out of there in 90 minutes to 2 hours, you can do better than that. Look for better than that. Here's a bit of a controversial topic too, but it's not controversial for me. Here, I feel very strongly about this, is that you should not waive your right to a home inspection for any reason, okay? Even if you love the house and this is the house that you just fell in love with, you are opening yourself up to so much pain and heartache if you don't do a home inspection. And I've seen this multiple times just this given year, where people have called me after they've moved into the home and want me to come in and do a home inspection after the fact. And honestly, that's, for good informational purposes, but frankly, it's too late to do a home inspection after you closed on the property. So multiple times I've found people with big issues in homes that have called me or my other colleagues in the house, and they've waived their home inspection. So please do not waive your right to a home inspection, because good home inspectors are going to find things in the home that you have no idea exist. No idea. As a client or as a home buyer, you're going into the home maybe for 30 minutes, a half hour, maybe an hour, but you're not spending a great deal of time. And what you're doing most likely when you go into the house is you're trying to visualize your family in the home and how that home is going to make you feel when you buy it. So, but you're not really looking at the infrastructure, right? You're not looking at the systems, you're not looking at the structure. And so many times I have clients that don't even go in the basement, they don't even go into the attic. So listen, do not have a home inspection. I don't care if it's your dream house. You're opening yourself up for thousands of dollars of unforeseen problems. So do not do that at all. And of course, what goes along with waiving your home inspection is to do a limited contract. So a lot of you, most of you now are limiting your contract to structural, environmental, and mechanical. So, and I've spoke to this on several videos before. There's a lot of sort of non-clarity regarding what constitutes structural or what constitutes mechanical or even environmental for that matter. So what are these things? If you're going to limit your home inspection to these things, you should have your attorney define what these issues are in your home inspection contract. So later on, you're not getting pushback from the seller saying, well, you know, those asbestos tiles in the basement, yeah, that's not environmental. Or the mold in the attic, that's not really going to affect you, that's not environmental. Or the sewer line has got this big problem and, you know, that's not mechanical or structural. So listen, do yourself a favor. If you're going to limit your contract, try to explain or try to define what these issues are before you have your home inspection. And there's going to be a lot of pushback from the seller and they may not like that. And I know you guys are anxious to buy homes, but you're really putting yourself in bad position as consumers. And I understand that sometimes it's next to impossible to buy a house in New Jersey. But do you really want to buy a house and you think it's a blessing, and then later on it turns out to be a nightmare because either you limited significantly your home inspection and your ability to seek corrections or remedy from the seller, or you just waive your right to your home inspection altogether? So please think about these issues, especially now because it's difficult to buy a home. But my advice to you is that please don't forego your right to a home inspection. And number two, don't limit your home inspection to make it very small in terms of what you can ask for correction or remedy from the seller. And if you are going to limit what you can ask for or ask for corrections for, try to define that a little bit better in the home inspection contract so you don't later on have to go fight with the seller in terms of, you know, asking for these corrections. It'll be spelled out in a more definitive way in the contract. So that would be my advice to you new home buyers. Can home inspectors perform repairs in homes that they've inspected? The answer is unequivocally no, they cannot do that. So as home inspectors, we're reputable, professional, licensed professionals, right? So we can't tell you that there's a problem, you know, with the deck or with some piece of structure or some windows in the house or other areas, and then tell you, you know what, I can fix it. I'm handy, I can fix it. I have my own handyman business. I can do this or that. That's illegal, and that's a conflict of interest, and there's really, it really goes against the moral code that we have, you know, as home inspectors. So my advice to you guys, if you're hiring a home inspector who later tells you that they can do work in the home, say thank you, but no thank you. Don't you have a code of ethics that you have to follow? And I understand the code of ethics, Mr. Home Inspector, so no, I'm not going to hire you to do any work in the house that you just inspected for me. So keep your antenna up. I rarely come across this problem. Home inspectors here, they understand our code of ethics, and we're licensed professionals, so we're really not going to hawk our ability to fix, you know, or remediate things in homes that we find as far as problems go. But keep your antenna up. It's always worthwhile to do that. but please do not let the home inspector do any work in the home that he or she has just recently inspected for you. It goes against significantly our code of ethics. If the home inspection uncovers big expensive problems, can I negotiate to have those problems fixed, or can I negotiate credits back from the owner of the home? The answer is maybe you can, but maybe you can't. It really depends on how your real estate contract is written. Some contracts are written in a way, and some offers are accepted in a way that allows you, the buyer, to negotiate these things, big problems, structural problems, big concerns. Other times the contract is written in a way where you can't negotiate, and it's sort of like an as-is, type of sale. So, be careful when you're putting these offers out there, guys. I know that you want to get your offer accepted, and it's very, it feels good to get that offer accepted over, 10, 12 other offers that the home has had. But to get that, offer accepted, you probably had to sell your soul, regarding your rights as a consumer and regarding what you had to do, the concessions you had to make, with your home inspection. So please be careful, when you're doing that. But, the answer is, can I negotiate? Yeah, you probably can negotiate somewhat. The problem is that on home inspections, not everything is a major catastrophe. Not everything is a major problem. And so we'll find, maybe 20, 25, small to mid-tier problems that, add up to a lot of dollars, right? If you're not a handy person and you have to hire contractors or handymen to come in and repair these things, that's going to add up to thousands of dollars just for those smaller to mid-tier issues that are generally excluded from the home inspection. So I want you to take that into consideration. Just because we didn't find anything super expensive to fix, no, your foundation is not collapsing and it's not crumbling and the wall's not pushed in. Yes, that's true. But, there's 25 other small to mid-tier problems that are cost you real dollars and cents when you go ahead and move into this house. So please be aware of that. Can home inspectors operate central air conditioning equipment in the winter months? And the answer is no. We really can't operate the air conditioner when temperatures are under 65 degrees for the previous 24-hour period. I don't want to go into great detail and get you in the weeds as to why that is, but the issue really has to do with lubrication of the compressor and the ability of the refrigerant gas to change its states properly from a liquid to a gas in colder temperatures. So the answer is we can't really operate the air conditioning equipment when it's cold out. So then what do you guys do? There's a couple options of what you can do. You can have the owner of the home provide a warranty for the central air conditioning equipment, which is one way. Make sure you talk to the attorney about whether he or she can write that into the contract, because the real estate attorneys understand that home inspectors can't operate central air in the wintertime. You can also get a notarized statement from the seller indicating that the unit is operating. The seller may be able to guarantee that the unit is operating when you go ahead and put that on in the late spring or early summer. You can have an HVAC company come in to test the air conditioning system. You can do that because they have equipment that's different than ours. We're doing a home inspection level of testing of the HVAC system, and hiring an HVAC company to come in, they can do a whole different level of testing of the central air conditioning system that home inspectors, we're not going to be able to do. So I suggest you do these issues, some of these issues anyway, because we're not going to be able to test the AC in the winter months. And that just doesn't have to do with me, it has to do with home inspectors in general. So if we're performing home inspections in New Jersey in that sort of that late fall into the winter, into the early spring, we're not going to be able to do that central air conditioning testing as we would like to do, because we don't want to cause damage to the unit. So quick answer to your question, no, we can't operate central air conditioning in the winter because we can potentially cause damage to the unit, which we obviously don't want to do. there you have it, guys. This is video number 2 in a video series of a guide to New Jersey home inspections, New Jersey home inspectors. And hopefully you find it helpful. You know, 1 or 2 of you out there come across this video and find the information helpful. I'm happy about that. I've been doing home inspections for well over 20 years, like 24 years. I was licensed first in 2000. It's been a heck of a ride. You know, it hasn't been, a straight line all the way up. It has its ups and downs, just like any, profession that we have. You know, we've had challenging real estate markets like we're in. We've had robust real estate markets and everything sort of in between, but you just need to just keep on chugging along, and that's what we're doing. So if you have any questions, please reach out. It's John from LookSmart Home Inspections, and I hope you stay tuned for video number 3 of this definitive guide to New Jersey home inspections. Thanks for watching.